Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we have an incredible episode in store for you guys out there. We have Joe with us. I recently met him at the Texas Fruit Festival and his transformation completely blew me away. He showed me pictures of how he used to look and told me a little bit about his old life, and he has come so far. He's literally lost almost 200 pounds. I can't believe it. And he had symptoms of diabetes, or I think he had diabetes and all kinds of other things going on. He's reversed all of that through a fruit diet. He is fruitarian. So for all the fruit lovers or people interested in fruit, stick around, go grab a banana, grab some durian, and let's hop into it. Hey Joe, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm amazing. So
Yeah.
where are you located? I'm in Miami. You're in, I can't remember.
I'm in Syracuse, New York, so
Oh, I love
upstate.
New York. Okay, that's why
Yeah.
I like you. I love New Yorkers. So you went to the Texas Fruit Festival all the way from New York?
Yeah. Yep.
No
Well,
way.
I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and then I wanted to go to the UK Fruit Festival, and then the Texas one was the next one, and then it was just a weekend. I wish it was longer, but it
Yeah.
was good. I
Okay.
enjoyed it.
I met you there. You're an awesome guy. I love that you went there and I just love your story. You were just radiating, doing great, come such a far way, like in a positive direction. So take us through what happened. Like tell us a little bit about the old you and what kind of led you into fruit.
So I was, just depressed and obese. I was very, very overweight, unhealthy. Just every day I woke up, it was like, oh, I hate my life. I literally said that probably every time I woke up. And then I started going down rabbit holes in like 2017, 2018. And then I went down one that made me see that like we're like put here for a reason. We're like perfectly created, you know what I mean? And I decided I wanted to live. So I started doing I had a 6 mile hike behind my house and I started hiking. Not hiking, I started running it. I do like the sprint walk, where you sprint for a minute and then walk for 2 minutes, sprint for a minute, walk for 2 minutes. Started doing that. Then I got a dog and I was doing these Purium shakes. And so I started just doing healthier stuff. And the dog, I was eating a cheeseburger, I remember. And my dog was sitting next to me. And I was like, why am I eating a cheeseburger? If I didn't want anything to happen to my dog, why would I want something to happen to a cow? So I was like, I should stop eating meat. So like for like a week and a half after that, like every day I'm like, all right, I'm not going to eat anything bad. And then I would end up eating something bad. Um,
It's a
so
process, right?
yeah, yeah. And then I had chocolate milk and mozzarella sticks. And I was driving up the road. I was like, all right, this is the last bad thing I'm going to eat. And it was. So
So
yeah,
it just came over you one day, like just on your
yeah,
own, like you didn't see a documentary or something. You just looked at that cheeseburger and it just came to you.
yeah.
Wow.
Well,
See, because
I was already getting healthier and I was getting more in tune with like life matters, like, and that's why I wanted to start living. So like I started getting more like I don't know, like when I'd see trees and stuff, I'd realize they were living creatures and you know what I mean? So it was a progression, but it was definitely, you know,
yeah. And
out of
then
nowhere, I guess.
so after that, cheese stick and chocolate milk, which are definitely not something that are going to benefit our body or our mind or our soul or anything at all. And there's way better foods out there. So you decided this is it. And then what happened next?
I just decided to go all fruit. I read a book called The Secret Life of Plants, so I didn't want to eat plants, so I didn't want to eat like lettuce or anything like that either. But I didn't really like that stuff anyway before. So fruit was just the natural thing, and I got into like Dr. Morse and Dr. Sebi, and I mean, they preach fruit and herbs, and I mean, they do preach greens too. Yeah, I think plants are telepathic, so I don't want to kill them.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, okay, so the secret life of plants. I've never heard of it. So you're in the belief because sometimes I'll see meat eaters come on and be like, "Oh, well, plants have feelings too." So is that the same kind of thing? Is that what that book woke you up to believe and you kind of think like they're so you think they're not meant to be eaten, even like the kale, like any of it?
Yeah, like and also kale, interestingly enough, I guess it has a thyroid blocker in kale. So yeah.
Well, I just had a big kale salad. No way. Kale has
That
a
well that
thyroid blocker, so it can cause like thyroid problems.
that's what I learned. But I mean, I haven't gotten into the science of it or anything like
I'm
that.
sure
That's
there's
just
somebody watching going, I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm
yeah,
so
exactly.
confused,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, you could find opposing sides for anything, really.
You
I just
can.
try to use critical thinking and just go where. But I didn't like kale. I can't remember last time I ever ate kale
You know
anyway,
what?
so
I'll
that's
tell you
not
how
why
you
I
like
don't eat
kale.
it.
My favorite kale salad, you chop it up really small. It's under the Dharma salad on YouTube, and you massage it for a few minutes after chopping it up small with avocado, sea salt, nutritional yeast, and lemon.
Wow.
And then you put tomato and cucumber on that. It's so good. It makes it not bitter. Okay, so
Okay.
that's interesting. I've never had somebody on who doesn't eat plants because of that belief, because
Yeah.
I never have. I've had like a lot of fruitarians on, but I've never had anybody that said like that's why. So that's interesting to me. So
Yeah.
you're just like the ultimate like empath, really. Like, talk about like being empathetic to like everything on the planet then. So you
I'm
think just we're
trying to.
only meant to eat fruit. So then you embarked on eating only fruit, and then how did that go? How does that make you feel versus how you were eating when you're having the cheese sticks and the burgers?
Oh my God. It it's night and day. Like it's not even comparable. Like I actually go out and do things and like I'm not just sitting in front of the television, lazy. I'm not lazy anymore. That's like the biggest thing I can pull from it. Absolutely. Way more energy. I'm happy. But I changed a lot. Like I did a lot more things. It wasn't just changing a fruit diet. But I've removed all stress from my life. Like I decided not to be stressed anymore. So I literally don't let the only thing that really stresses me out is my dog. But everything else I don't let stress me out. Nothing with
Like you
work,
just
nothing
made a
with
decision,
anything.
I'm not going to be stressed anymore, and that's it.
Yeah.
How can
Yeah,
we
and
do
I've
that? How can everyone do that? Just so easy. It's just that easy?
meditate. Meditation,
Mm.
just you have to realize that you're more than just your physical self and like everything out here is yes, it's real, but you're more than just what's happening out here. So just if you're happy, whatever is out here can't stop you from being happy, I guess.
So you're really centered in yourself. Okay, I got to start meditating. And okay, so you've gone literally, you were telling me before we got on, you've gone from 352 pounds to
Yeah.
165. So
Yeah.
maybe let us know what were some of the symptoms, like what were some of the health problems you were facing before? And then what benefits have you seen with the fruit diet?
So I had diabetes. I didn't trust doctors before when I was overweight and in the matrix. But
Yeah.
so I didn't like go to the doctors to get diagnosed or anything like that. But I definitely had diabetes. I had like I this is probably too much information, but I don't really care anymore. So I would get mold in my toilet if I didn't like clean my toilet like at least every 4 or 5 days, mold would grow a ring around the toilet. And
That's crazy. I've
I've
heard that with people with diabetes. That's crazy. Why
yeah,
does it do that? That's crazy.
I don't know. And I was I have no idea. That's gross though. Um, I was going to the bathroom like literally I would go to the bathroom every 10 minutes. It was bad. And my blood sugar was well over 500 on
Over
a constant
500. And
basis.
yeah, what's blood sugar
Yep.
supposed to be? It's way, way, way lower than
Oh
that.
yeah, like it's supposed to be like around like 70 to 100. I could be wrong
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
that,
That's what I
but yeah.
thought. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, crazy
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you were waking
Uh
up thinking, I don't even want to,
oh, I was
I
depressed.
just,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
a lot of the stuff they put in our foods is I think that's causing people to be depressed also. I don't think it was just the weight. I think it was all the chemicals.
It is, and it's
So,
addictive. It's addictive
yeah.
and it makes you feel depressed, but then you're addicted to it and it just gets you in this cycle where you're not living your best life, right?
Yeah,
We're not meant
absolutely.
to feel that way. We're meant to feel amazing. We weren't just put here to feel like crap and be addicted to crap, right? It's like
Yeah.
no way to live.
I
Who wants to live like that?
apparently millions of people.
True. So were
I
you
don't
like for me when I went raw, I was like, holy crap, I never knew could feel so good. It was the biggest awakening I ever had. And I felt incredible by the end of the first day, literally, because at the time I wasn't addicted to like coffee or anything that had to like cleanse out of me. So I think that's
yeah.
why the happiness and that feeling came so quick. And it was better than any alcohol or any high or anything I'd been chasing with other things. It was like, whoa, this is how I'm truly meant to feel. So did you kind of have that when you went to the fruit? Did you feel like, whoa, this is such a drastic change from how I've been feeling before?
100%. Absolutely. I always felt sluggish, achy, like constantly achy, like my back constantly hurt. And I always I was always like the guy that was like fruit was just the side dish or whatever that I
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
maybe picked at so I never really knew how good fruit could actually be. Once you start eating it, it's like you forget about the other stuff you used to eat. Like I felt like it was easy to go to fruit because it tastes so
Hmm.
good. You know what I mean? Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Yeah.
So like if I was switching to like just eating lettuce, maybe, maybe it would have been hard, but I think fruit is delicious, so it was kind of easy. But yeah, it absolutely made me feel incredible. Complete 180. So
And did the people around you, do they think you're crazy? Are they like, Joe, you're crazy? Or are they like, whoa, Joe, like what a difference? And have the people around you changed from a result of all this?
I was actually going to say, so I've had multiple people tell me that they're worried about me because I'm only eating fruit and where am I getting protein and I'm going to kill myself and I my response is always this. Why didn't you tell me I was unhealthy when I was over 350 pounds and I was eating fast food 4 times a day? Why wasn't I unhealthy and you were worried about me then? But now that I'm the healthiest I've ever been, you seem to be concerned.
Yeah, it's just wild, right? Especially with such a transformation you've had, right? With almost 200 pounds and
Yeah.
reversing all the problems and feeling happy now. Like you can't deny that, right?
Y- Absolutely. And that's why I'm always confused when I even have conversations like that with people because I'm like, you saw me before and now you see me today. What's I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. You should be like on board with the diet. It's been
Yeah.
since last April. So if it was gonna kill me, I feel like would have happened already. You know what I
So it
mean?
was last
Kind
year.
of
It's
thing.
been since last April. So that's like when the big transformation happened around that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
April
so around
10th.
like a year and a half or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep. It was April 10th. I won't forget the date. So
And how long did it take you to get results and what were you eating? Like what do you eat exactly in a day?
so I eat one watermelon a day, usually without fail. It's getting harder these days because they're going back out of season and I've gotten
Yeah.
a lot of stinkers lately. But if I can't do one watermelon a day, I usually try to do like a strawberry and date smoothie with banana. That's generally a daily thing. I do fruit bowls of berries and grapes and stuff like that. Upstate New York, it's hard to get like the more exotic fruits. I found a jackfruit in Texas, which I was super stoked about.
Jackfruit's
Um,
so good.
yeah, yeah. You could find durian here, but I'm not a big durian guy. So it's really just the lame fruits, and not the lame fruits because they still taste delicious. But apples, grapes,
Yeah.
watermelon, they're just the regular fruits. I would like to be getting more of the exotic ones. I order from Miami Fruit every now and then.
Oh, they're
Um,
good. They're expensive,
yeah,
but you're not going to get better quality fruit delivered to your door, right? Their stuff is really,
yeah,
really, really good. They have like those cake fruits too. Like
big fruits
have you ever had cake fruit? You've never had Oh, maybe
like
it's
egg
not
fruit.
called cake fruit. It might be called cake fruit or it tastes like a cake. I forget what it's called. It's like the yellow one. It kind of looks like a yellow pear kind of. They deliver it.
Egg
They have it. Egg fruit.
egg fruit. Yeah, yeah,
Egg
yeah. I've
fruit.
had it. It's
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that's insane.
I've actually got, they've delivered that and they've delivered sabadilla. Sabadilla is my favorite fruit
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it's so good.
And you know what? If you're living in like a colder climate, because you're in New York, like a lot of times when I lived in Toronto, I would go to the Asian markets. Do you go there and they have like really good quality stuff like all year, a lot of times.
Yeah, I found durian there. I need to go back and see if they have jackfruit and all that. But yeah, you can
Yeah.
find durian.
And you feel good, like you feel energized, you feel strong, you don't feel like you're missing anything by having just
Oh
the fruit.
no, absolutely not. I feel I feel like I'm 20 again. Like I'm 38 years. Well, I'll be 39 in a couple weeks. I literally feel like I'm 20 years old. I think I've de-aged because I haven't felt this good. Even when I was 20, I didn't feel this good.
No, you're like
So
me. I'm 42. I feel better than I felt when I was 22, better than
yeah,
ever. And so for
yeah.
you, like, what's the best part of all of this?
Just actually having motivation to do things. You know what I mean? Like not being lazy
Mhm.
and lethargic. I like that I'm more active. I'm meeting more people. Like you couldn't catch me at a festival ever, and now I'm like literally seeking out as many as possible. It's affordable, and I'm gonna look into how much fruit's gonna cost and all that. And
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm thinking
I
about doing
love
it this
it.
summer.
I love your
Yeah.
passion. I love this transformation. And how has your life changed as a result of all of this? Has it changed at all? Because I love asking this question. I know, like, as we change our inner world and our health and our body, like, a lot of times things outer we're reflecting are like totally changed. So, has your life changed at all in the last like year and a half because of this, or have things kind of stayed the same around you?
Um, it's hard to say. I mean, I don't know if the fruit was like my attitude has changed my life completely. Like I used
Mhm.
to be like overdrafting constantly in my bank account, and now I'm perfectly fine and like I have like invested money and stuff like that. And I think it's because of my attitude change. Like I'm not worried about if I want something, I buy it. I'm not worried about money anymore, and I used to worry constantly about it, and I used to never have it. So I think it's a huge attitude change, and I would contribute it to my diet absolutely, but also meditation and I fast also. So
Oh yeah, okay. So that brings me, so you recently did a 40-day water fast, right?
yeah, yep.
So was that your first one? And take us through, like, what was that experience like?
It was it was insane. So I tried to do it last July, and I only made it to day 14, and it's because I just did it. Like I wasn't like preparing myself or anything like that. And at that point, it had only been what from April to July, a few months. And every single day of that fast, I was completely miserable. So for the next year, I just did 3-day fast. I did 5-day fast. I did 7-day fast. I actually did a 7-day dry fast where I didn't have water or anything at all. And then it was a few months ago. I ended it on September 6th. So, and I didn't have anything, just water. Like I didn't have sea moss. I didn't do any of the Himalayan shilajit or any of the, herbs or anything like that. Um, so the first like week was hard. A day or two here and there. The first week was difficult. Day 8 was the hardest day. I actually pulled over and started puking because I chugged too much water. Um,
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, day 8 was the hardest day, and then from day 8 to like day 37, it was easy. Not, I can't say it was easy. I still craved watermelon constantly. Um, but then the last 3 days were hard because I think it was psychologically, I knew it was about to end. So like in my mind, I was wanting stuff more like, oh, you're at the end, you can break it kind of thing, but
Hmm.
I didn't. Yeah, it was difficult. It was definitely an experience. I'll probably do it maybe once a year.
Wow. You know what? Yeah, I
Yeah.
interviewed Jeff Juices today. Do you know him? And
No.
he's big into water fasting, says he'd never be where he is today. And he says, like, when, for him, having things to heal, it's just like expedites it and makes it so much faster than anything else. So, did you feel like you reached like just deeper levels for your body of healing? And was it spiritual? I'm guessing it must be pretty spiritual experience, no? That's why I would
That
want to do it.
That's why I did it. The meditations definitely were a lot deeper. The beginning part of the fast, it was actually hard to meditate. Like I couldn't stop thinking about everything. And it got to like around like day 20-ish, the meditations got like really, really deep and like I was able to sit for way longer. And yeah, I didn't like hallucinate or anything like that, but it definitely gives you more clarity on things and helps you make decisions better, I think, when you're fasting
Yeah,
because
and your
you're
sleep and your dreams are probably like crazy, amazing, and
yes.
vivid, right? Because even I notice
Yes, very lucid.
yeah, I do intermittent fasting now, and even with that, I notice like the dreams and the sleep are way better. It's just so much
Yep.
better, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing. I don't know if it's fasting or fruits or what have you. When I started this journey, like I remember my dreams now. They're like you said, they're more vivid. And before I couldn't remember anything. Like I don't remember dreaming at all. So
Yeah, it's so crazy. What a
like
difference.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. And okay, so I love asking this question too, because you've learned a lot about health. You're into these books. I have to look up the Secret Life of Plants and all this or whatever it's called. And you've had quite the journey. So I know, especially when you're new to this, like it's been a couple years for you. You just immerse yourself in so many things. So what would you say are like the three greatest things you've learned on your journey, like, or like the three greatest things about health? If you were to leave a legacy behind and you could put like 3 points in a book, what do you think those biggest things are?
Number one is God, I'm gonna sound so corny. Number one is loving yourself and having self-discipline and knowing that if you do one thing now, it's going to better yourself later on. That's huge. I think self-control is the number one thing a person can do for themselves, and I think that has to do with loving yourself because if you love yourself, you're not going to eat the cereal that has paint thinner in it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right?
if you care about yourself, then you'll actually go through with your goals, and I think that's huge. If I could if I could give anybody advice, it'd be learn how to have self-control because and anybody could do it. If I could do it, anybody could do it. And that's the number one thing people tell me. I could never do that. And I like roll my eyes and I want to shove a picture of what I used to look like on their face and be like, yo, like literally when I wasn't at work, I laid in front of the TV and ate fast food. So
Yeah, it's
if I could
crazy.
do it, you could do it.
And so many people are doing that. And like you said, like the self-love. I've interviewed a couple other people today and they said the same thing. I think they both said the same thing and they were both mostly fruitarian too. And I think that too. And I think it's the greatest form of self-respect is treating yourself well, like eating well. So it's like the next time you're looking to make a food choice, because every time we eat, we have a food choice. It's up to us. There are a lot of things in this world we can't control, but that's one thing that fortunately we can control. Like no
Yeah.
government, no people are telling us how we have to eat. So we're lucky. We live in this world where we have an abundance and access to such amazing food. So it's like the next time you're going to pick up food and make a food choice, pick the better option for yourself and show yourself self-respect. Because if you're not showing yourself self-respect, how do you expect other people to respect you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you must notice too,
100%.
even a difference in how much you respect yourself and love yourself and take care of yourself
Oh my
now
gosh.
in the because everything's a mirror to us, right? And the way people treat you probably too.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I can see that 100%. Absolutely. Like I actually, I mean, this is vanity kind of, but I actually have women talking to me when that was never, ever, ever the case. And I don't think it has all to do with looks. I think it has to do with, uh, I don't know, frequency. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
believe in that heavily now too. Like frequency, like everything's energy and what you put out is what you're going to get back and all that. So that's another big thing on this journey is you actually like, I don't know,
And
you
fruit, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your thought.
no, no, I was gonna say you get what you're searching for. And I know there's a big thing out like manifest, but like it truly is a real thing. Like you get what you truly desire if you actually are happy and grateful for what you have.
So true. It sounds to me you probably take time every day then, right? When you do your meditations to like feel grateful. Like, do you have like a routine with all that stuff?
Yeah, I do the look in the mirror and tell myself I love myself 10 times. I do breath work. I try to meditate within the first 5 minutes of waking up. And I don't really have a time on it. I just do it until I feel like I'm done. I don't eat until like noon. So I'll walk my dog going to work. I come home, play with the dog, and then I eat from noon to about 6. Sometimes I'll eat from 11 to 5. But I do intermittent fasting every day too.
Such a game
Um,
changer, don't you think? So for
yeah.
anybody watching, like what do you think are like the key benefits to intermittent fasting?
But I feel like I keep saying the same thing, just energy and like just you you want to do stuff. You want to like you know what I mean? You want to be
Hmm.
creative, you just want to create or you want to go out and do stuff. You want to be active.
You're more of a
I don't know if
creator. You're more like in offense, like you're more like you're not in defense mode in life. Like you're a strong creator in your own, you're creating, you're just, I know, I agree. I feel the same thing. It's really, really, really big deal. Because when you're eating food like so close to bed, or like a lot of people are just snacking, eating like at night, like so close to bedtime, or even a lot of people I know even pulling out the snacks in bed. And then when you're doing that, and then you're going to bed, like all your body's doing is digesting this food in your sleep. So it doesn't have the energy to put towards repairing things in your body or rejuvenating things or, preventing aging or this and that because it's just working on digesting the food. And you don't have like as proper of a sleep at all. The sleep quality between intermittent fasting and non-intermittent fasting, even as somebody who eats really clean, it's night and day. It's completely insane.
yeah, I'm with you 100%. I remember the shirt plate in bed, like with all the crumbs, like
Yeah.
yeah. And it's crazy how much you learn. Like once you start eating healthy, I feel like it spirals into like learning more and more and more because I would have never thought if you eat before bed that you're not going to sleep well because your body's working and digesting. I never would have known that, but like once you actually get healthy, you start learning more things to get healthy about. So you set more goals for yourself. Like yeah, it spirals. Like I want to fix my eyesight. So I'm like working on a bunch of things with that. I want to get my hair back, working on a bunch of things with that. I don't know if either one is doable, but I'm absolutely going to try because I feel like you create your reality. So if I think I could do it, I'm gonna do it. So
You're right, it does spiral. It's like a domino effect of good. When we make good choices, it leads to another good choice. You know, if we make the
yep,
choices to spend our day having like the coffee, the pizza, the wine stuff, the next day you're gonna wait or you have a bad sleep or you have a bad sleep. Next day you're gonna wake up feeling like crap and it's just gonna be like this butterfly effect of bad things, and then you maybe making these choices that aren't in your best interest. It's just all bad things. So why not choose the good
yep,
things, right? And live your best life. Live the highest
yeah,
quality life you're meant to live. And so
absolutely.
on the fruit, like, do you feel full? You feel satisfied too? You don't feel
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh, I'm hungry. Like And how long did it
no.
take to stop the cravings? Because you were eating a pretty heavy standard American diet forever, right?
Um, I was eating a lot of fruit in the beginning, like way more than I usually do now. Before I was doing like giant bowls of as many berries and grapes and apples and pears and all that as I can fit into a bowl. I would try to do that a couple times a day. I'd still do one watermelon. Yeah, so I was eating a ton of fruit early on. But it's definitely dimmed down. Like some days I'll just have like like yesterday I think I had oh, it sounds like a lot, but I had 4 apples, but I don't think I had anything else throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't have any cravings now. Before I would actually, yeah, I would and I wasn't intermittent fasting right away when I started fruit, so I would eat a ton throughout the day of fruit. So cravings only really come when I'm with someone and they have something that I think smells good, but it's not really a craving for the bad stuff. It's just memories of what it used to be, I guess. So like,
Mm-hmm. And so you never have a green juice, never have a salad. Like I know at the Texas Fruit Festival, there were a lot of people talking about the greens and stuff. Did that
yeah.
interest you at all, or you have no interest because you're pretty into like the plants have feelings too?
It's that too, but I've never ever liked. So when I was eating fast food daily, constantly, I was never eating salad. Like I never touched the stuff. So like when I transitioned from that straight to fruit, I never really went through the stages of like, vegetarian, pescatarian, vegan. I
Mm.
just jumped right to fruitarian. So I never like never did the lettuces and the greens, I guess. So I don't miss them, so I don't crave them. So I don't really go for them. So
Mm.
it's but then also, like I said, I think they're telepathic and
Hmm.
there's been a lot of studies. It's crazy. Have you heard? So like there was a doctor who had he did a study where he put 2 plants in a room and he had these college kids walk in the room and then walk out and he had one of the college kids randomly destroy a plant and he hooked the plant up to a lie detector test. So the kids go in and the kid destroys one of the plants and then they walk out. And then he has them do it again in a different order. And the kid that destroyed the plant walks in and the plant that wasn't destroyed that took to a lie detector test went off. Like it was notifying them that this is the serial killer that killed the other plant. Like, yeah, there's
What?
weird stuff. Yeah. Yeah. There was another one where this is actually the first one he did. He put the plant's leaf in hot coffee to see if there's any reaction. He hooked it to a lie detector test and based the feelings off of human feelings and all that. And nothing happened with the hot coffee. And he's like, all right, I'll go burn the leaf instead. So he goes in the room, burns the leaf, and he goes and checks the lie detector reaction. And the plant reacted when he walked in the room, not when he burned the leaf. So he's like, that's weird. So he was like, I'll go back in and just pretend to burn the leaf and I won't actually do it. So he went back in, pretended to burn the leaf, went back out, checked the results, and there was nothing. The plant was chilling. Like it knew when it was going to get burnt and when it wasn't going to get burnt. So,
Wow, it's crazy. It makes you realize like everything is energy, frequency, feelings, like a
yeah.
vibe, and there's just so much more going on than we even realize. Like us humans kind of live in our own world. It's just like, it's kind of crazy. Wow, that's crazy. Any other
Yeah.
cool plant? Any other reasons? Like anything else you took from that book, The Secret Life of Plants?
Um, I mean, there's tons of stuff. They also plants give off defense mechanisms, certain plants when you eat them, like the kale thing with the thyroid blocker. they don't want to get killed either. And I know there's a way like Seth Balin, who's at the Texas Fruit Festival, was actually talking to me. He's read that book and all that too, and he was telling me how usually like regular organic farmers or people that aren't mass producing stuff, they cut the leaves that are supposed to get cut, so then it'll grow bigger and stuff like that. So you're not actually killing the plant when you eat lettuce all the time, I guess, or not just lettuce, but certain greens. So there are ways to cut them from the plant without killing the plant. So
Hmm.
you're not always killing the plant, basically, is what I'm saying. So I'm still learning and adjusting what I'm doing and stuff like that. So I'm not completely opposed to it, but
You never see yourself going back to animal products probably though,
oh
or to
no,
processed food, right? Which is I think
never,
the worst of it all.
never. Neither. I can't even see myself going back to coffee, and that
Oh
was one
yeah,
of the
I was
hardest
gonna
things to
ask
break.
you. Okay, I was gonna ask you, did you have any addictions? Like, did you do alcohol, drugs, or coffee? Because coffee's a big, I
Coffee.
I loved my coffee too. Okay, so take us through like any advice for coffee drinkers out there. How do you quit? Because I do get a lot of people come to
Um,
the channel, like, and how do you feel better off the
it
coffee?
Yes. Oh my God, absolutely. Like you think that when you wake up you need a coffee in the morning because it's what's going to like wake you up. That's not it. It's just it's really habit. Like I think most things that we do are habit. Like I don't think it's that we want them. I think it's that it's just habit. So I would say it's hard because like I said, I went for a week and a half where I was constantly saying I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing this. And then it just took one day where I was like I'm going to stop doing it and I did it. So I feel like I'm talking too fast.
No, you're not.
Um,
Oh my God, I talk really fast, so you're definitely not talking too fast.
yeah, so it took me a week and a half of telling myself I'm going to stop before I actually stopped. So, like I said, just have self-discipline. It's
Yeah,
it's it's easier said than done. I get that 100%, but you do have it in you. Everybody has it in them.
yeah,
Um, the human body is incredible. Like the human mind is incredible. It's not just we weren't put here on accident. Like everything about the human body was designed and perfectly created to give you everything that you want. Like I think it's crazy that like how I used to feel. Like I used to think we were just meat suits, but
yeah. What a transformation! I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, meat suits. It's true. And people want to know when you lose this much weight. My viewers always ask, like, what about the loose skin? Has that been an issue, or is that what's the deal there? If you don't mind sharing.
I have some I dry brush I dry brush
Yeah,
so do that for 5 to 10 minutes after a shower or when I'm changing.
cool.
It's not that bad actually. I don't know if it's because I didn't just like I mean I did drop it fairly quickly, but it's just skin. Who cares?
Yeah, true. Exactly. And because you did spend your whole life basically eating a crap diet, right? Standard American
Oh
diet.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
So many decades, right?
Yeah.
See?
And
Thank God you found it now because what we do in our like 30s, 40s, 50s, it's just setting the stage for the kind of life you're going to live in your 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s beyond, and we're
yeah,
meant to thrive in those years. We're meant to feel amazing and still have a purpose and do so many things, not like need all kinds of medical care, need people to take care of us because we can't, you know what I mean? We're meant to live our
yeah,
best life. And in order to do that, we have to really put in the investment in ourselves, take care of ourselves in these years.
absolutely. I agree 100%. I saw a picture, like, well, like a meme. It had one woman that's like looks great. She's like strong, athletic, next to a lady that's like with a walker hunched over, and it said they're both 80 years old. Choose which one you want to be. And that's facts. Like,
It's absolute facts. I think that might have been Mimi Kirk because I interviewed her in California and she said some people
no.
created some memes with her. And she's in her 80s and she's been vegan for a long time and she was raw for a long time too. She was actually PETA's sexiest woman of the year over
Oh,
60 at
really?
some age and like you should see her. I go to her house and she's like 84, 85 maybe, I forget. And she's just run around, made so much food, like shows me all the stuff she's doing, her artwork, her books, like ready to go travel to Dubai or I forget France here or there and just so much going on at that age. So that's how I want to live, you know?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
becoming at 42, that's becoming a big motivation for why I take such good care of myself now, you know?
Yeah, 100%. It's you want to actually live like we work till we retire and then we have very little years left because of how we treat ourselves. So why not, if you're gonna work until you're 65 to retire and not find different ways to make money, don't you want to live your life to the fullest at the last few years after you retire? I guess
Mhm.
that's not,
100%, you know?
yeah.
100%. And okay, any advice for somebody watching you who like, how to get started or like how just any inspirational advice for somebody who might be feeling in a low place. They might still be eating those cheese sticks and just feeling like crap, waking up, not excited to be alive. Like any inspiration or words of advice for them?
Just think outside the box, get away from the idiot box, and just start focusing on yourselves and how you can make yourself feel better. And there's so many different avenues of research that you can do, and you can actually get real research. It's not just like censored stuff. You can actually find it out there if you try. So, I would say get away from mainstream, figure out holistic ways to do things because that's where you're really going to start getting healthy is when you go natural and get away from mainstream knowledge, mainstream food, mainstream
Yeah.
everything. It's
Because it's one of those things where everybody's doing it. So what? It's not necessarily the right thing to do, right?
yeah,
The food culture is still so out of control on this planet. Like I was born in 1982 and I thought it was bad. Like looking back, you'd think it'd be bad in the 80s and 90s. It seems like it's even worse now. Because at my daughter's school, like my daughters are 6 and 12. There's ki lots of kids, diabetes, cancer. It's like, what?
yeah.
Like, you know?
So there's a study, not a study, but a guy had his daughter go to lunch, and he brought her a packed lunch and said, "Bag up your lunch every day for a week and bring it home to me." So she did that, and he used like the spinners, like the science spinners to find out what's actually was in the school lunches, and they found. I wish I could think of the name of it, but it was a chemical that they tested on frogs to turn male frogs into female frogs, and that was found in children's lunches. So
That's insane.
I
That's
wish I,
so crazy. And I'm not even surprised. And even like I
yeah.
just moved to America from Canada. Not that it's any better in Canada because it's not, but it's almost like it's another level here. Like the stuff my daughters tell me that they're serving at the cafeteria. And then in my one daughter's class, they're throwing like some sort of event for Thanksgiving. So they're all having a big KFC celebration.
Oh my
And I'm like,
gosh.
really? It's 2024? Like, I don't want to sound like a Karen or something by like being
No,
like, really, KFC? But like, come on, let's treat the kids a little better. Like KFC, really, in these little bodies? It's like, what is happening? When are we gonna wake up? You know?
that's bonkers to me. Like it's
Yeah.
you're sp
No, like I
we've
have no words. Like this just, I have no words. And it's a crazy world out there. It's crazy. It's crazy. Honestly, just the
yeah.
stories I could tell just from the school alone, I could go on for 2 hours,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I
You
won't
think
because I don't want to embarrass my daughter. So that's not why we're here. But yeah, it's just pretty crazy out there. So it's good. It's people like us and all the stories, the people that come on this channel and the people that you meet. You inspire so many
yeah.
people. It's just a better way to live, to eat real food, even if people don't want to be a fruitarian, or even if they don't want to be vegan, or even if they don't want to be raw. Just eat real whole food and then maybe consider some intermittent fasting so you're not like stuffing your face all the way up till bed and then you're wondering why you wake up feeling like crap and why your digestion's a mess and why you have no energy. Like, come
Yeah.
on, you know?
And if you're not going to intermittent fast, at least stop eating like 5 hours before you go to bed.
I
I'd say
agree.
six. I'd
I
say
agree.
six,
Yeah.
but
I know because sometimes I tell people my ideal time is stopping at 3. So today I stopped at 4. Like I stopped just before we got on, like 3:50. But I like to stop by 3. And I think some people think that's crazy, but that's what makes me feel my best hours before bed. I don't even think it's enough like to stop 2 or 3 hours. Because some people I know say 2, 3 hours. And obviously that's better than like 10 minutes before bed. But to me, even that's still way too soon. And although it
yeah.
does depend on people's schedule too. Like somebody interviewed today, he's like, well, I'm surfing until 6 and then I do this. like it's different your schedule. So some people the opposite works better, right? Where yeah, you start eating later in the day the next day
Yeah.
instead and stuff. So it's all about finding what works, but it's about like taking those breaks at some point. Because we're not built to just eat and 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 eat the whole time.
Yeah.
And then we wonder, oh, why all of a sudden are we having a stroke or why all of a sudden is this or that? Like, come on.
I don't even think it's we're hungry. I think it's addiction. I think we're addicted to consumption. Like we're addicted to putting stuff in our bodies. Like I feel like it's an addiction.
It
Like
is,
I
yeah,
don't
habit and an addiction. You're right. Well, it's
yeah.
better to have a healthy addiction, you know? If anybody says, oh, we're extreme and we're addicted, it's like way better
Look,
addiction to be addicted to taking care of yourself.
so I've been to concerts and stuff like that, and there's like big events where there's tons of people, and there's always you always run into people that are like fighting and screaming at each other. I have not seen this yet in anything I've gone to with this community. Like we're
With
all
the fruit festivals, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
we're all
you don't really
happy
know
and
yet.
like
There's a lot going on behind the scenes, Joe. No, I'm
okay, all
joking.
right, no,
Joking. I swear to God, I'm joking. You're
well if
right,
I do
though.
this,
You're right. The people are way more chill and like
yeah,
typically happier, you know?
typically. All right, so you've seen some
No,
shit.
I'm
I
serious.
just haven't.
No, no, no. I'm just messing around. I haven't seen any. No, the Texas Fruit Festival is amazing. I haven't seen any drama like that in the community at all, really. Overall,
Yeah.
like the community is great. There's probably only been one person over the years that is in the community that has DM'd me and gone off about disagreeing with videos or this and that, and like
Oh,
really gone off in a way I was like, whoa, like and just trying to be nice. But sometimes with people like that, they just don't even want to hear you. And it's just, but overall, you're right. Like it just brings out the best in you typically, right? So
yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Usually.
yeah.
I mean, not
So
everybody in the community is going to agree on some stuff. Like people, a
yeah.
lot of people think fasting is an eating disorder, and like I don't. I think the opposite. So not everyone's going to agree. You know,
Yeah.
people disagree, and you just move on. It's not everyone's going to have the same path. You just be happy,
Yeah, and it's
eat
good you
healthy.
came to this path because some people like they transition to different paths, and a lot of times somebody I interviewed today used to do raw carnivore. It's good you were never like never into like the carnivore path, you know? Or were you?
I mean, I used to eat fast food every day. I'd eat probably 6 cheeseburgers minimum a day.
Oh,
Like I was bad. Like you saw the picture of me. Like I would eat hor I would go to McDonald's and I would get 4 Diet Cokes on my way home from
like
work
four
every
big
single
Diet
day.
Cokes? Oh my
Yes.
gosh, no wonder you're having that mold in your toilet from the good thing you didn't continue on like that because diabetes is
Yeah.
serious. People get body parts amputated. Like people need to wake up because that stuff is freaking serious. So thank God you stopped that. Now you probably
Yeah.
can't imagine yourself doing that, right?
Oh no, absolutely not. Like so my dad has diabetes and had to have his leg amputated.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible.
Has
Like
your dad, what does he think about your transformation?
he was worried too, like everybody else, because it's just fruit and people mainstream tells you that if you only eat fruit, you'll die, which even his doctors have told him if he eats sugar, he's going to kill himself. He thought that sugar would kill him. Like I'm telling him, no, I was diabetic and I'm walking around the happiest I've ever been. So he's not on board with the all fruit diet yet. But he's definitely eating healthier for sure. So
Yeah, okay. And do
I'll
you
take the small wins.
Yeah, for sure. And we can't, the thing is, we can't control the people around us. We just have to live a life true to ourselves and what we want to do and what we feel is best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you supplement at all or no? Do you take B12
No.
or like anything? Would you be open to taking it if like you realized, oh, okay, things are changing down the line? Like maybe,
If they didn't add anything to it, and I feel like you can get everything you want from like straight from the source. So if it
Mhm.
was like a supplement of BT, it really depends on what's in it. But I'm not taking anything. Well, I say I'm not taking anything, but I take Hirataki,
Mhm.
Hishuwu, Pearl Powder. I was doing sea moss and Himalayan Shilajit, but I haven't done them in a while. So I do take herbs, but nothing else really.
And some of those are types of mushrooms, no? Or am I wrong?
I
Or
think
not?
Harataki is,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah.
I've been taking cordyceps. Have you heard of that? I think it's like a type of,
No. I've
oh,
heard of it, but I couldn't tell you what it is at all.
Yeah, it's a mushroom powder, I think, because I recently went to Shane's house, Shane Sterling in Texas, and I did a what I eat in a day video, and he introduced me to this smoothie he drinks, and it had cordyceps and flax seeds and chlorella, spirulina, all these other things in it. So I've been making the exact smoothie every day. If the video is out, you guys, I'll put it down below. If it's not, make sure you subscribe for it. This smoothie gives me more energy than I've ever had in my life. I'm like just running off the walls. Like I noticed it immediately after drinking it. I'm like, I don't know what is going on. Or maybe it's the minerals. I put minerals in it too. I don't know what it is
Okay.
because it's a few different things than I usually consume, like the mineral drops and the cordyceps, a couple other things, but and the natural energy, not like the energy from like the stimulants, because sometimes I'll go on and off with matcha and cacao. I'm not having it right now, but the energy with stimulants or like the energy with stimulants like coffee I used to have, it's totally different. You crash, right? So you want this
Yeah.
stuff where you have like you feel good and you don't crash. I don't want to be addicted to anything or crash from anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's one thing about fruit too. Like I eat as much as I want. There's no crash. And when you eat sugars and stuff like that, you always crash. So
Yeah, those
it's
four diet
definitely a huge
sodas. I'm sure
difference.
you were crashing and then you were laying on the couch and you were like, "Oh, I don't even want to wake up tomorrow." And then thank God you changed your path. So thank God
I
you
was
got into
killing
the
myself.
hiking, you got into walking, and then that led to, "Oh, I don't want this cheeseburger." And then, that
Yeah.
led to losing all the weight. And then that led to the meditation, that led to just a better mindset and so many other things. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
way to
that.
go. Keep it up. And is there
I will.
anything else you want to share with the audience about your journey or anything else that comes to mind that you want to share? And let everybody know where they can find you. And I'll put everything down below.
Just, start loving yourself, you know, treat yourself. Your body is literally the most incredible thing on this plane is the human body. So treat it like it is. Like treat it like it's worth. Like I've seen a bunch of different videos where people will tell you, uh, if I gave you $10 million today, but you won't wake up tomorrow, what would you take? Every single time someone takes waking up tomorrow. So your body's worth more than any amount of money you can think of. So treat it like it's worth that because it is.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
the,
most important thing. It's the most
yes.
important thing that we take care of our health.
Yep.
Yeah.
Food isn't just messing with the size of your body either. It's also messing with your head hugely. Like Alzheimer's, like most diseases come from the food, and the meds you take to suppress them are going to make them worse. So just stop taking foreign substances,
Yeah, and it's bit
basically.
by bit. Every little thing matters. Every little cheeseburger, every little bag of chips,
Yep.
every little processed food, every little like too much meat consumption, every little thing adds up. And then there's the
Yep.
Alzheimer's, there's the stroke, there's the this, there's the that.
Yep. I had people ask me also, you don't have a cheat day? Like you don't have a cheat meal? Why would I cheat on myself? Like I wouldn't cheat on somebody else. Why would I cheat on myself? Like
Yeah,
that's it's horrible. Why would you cheat on yourself? It doesn't make any sense to me. So
it doesn't. And then those cheat
yeah.
days can spiral. Like Lou Corona told me a story once about somebody that lost so much weight, reversed so many health problems, and then they were at a barbecue and they decided to have a cheat day. And then it was like 8 or 12 years later, there's still like do you think sometimes it can be one cheat day? And lots of times it turns into 8 cheat days, 10 cheat days, or 8 years. And then you're just
Yep.
because this stuff is so addictive. So treat it like an addiction. Go to AA
Yep.
for it. Like do what you gotta do, get off it.
Get on
And I think go ahead.
they're on the Psalms. Stop on Mondays. I'm gonna stop eating this on Monday. Done
Yeah.
on Monday. I'm doing
Yeah.
this on Monday.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, well, okay, and you have a podcast tour. Where can everybody find you? I'll put
I
everything
do.
down below.
So it's Godspeed Podcast on YouTube. It's a conspiracy podcast. We talk about things that most people will think you're crazy for believing. Um, but I think everything that I talk about on the show is real, and I think they're lying to us about everything. So that's what the show's about. We actually
Awesome.
have health episodes too, and I
Cool.
actually go into the whole entire 40-day fast on one episode. So
Cool.
uh, yeah, Godspeed Podcast on YouTube. You need Joe Mead on Instagram. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I'll put
Yeah.
everything down below. Everybody go follow
Yeah.
Joe. Just follow for some inspiration. Go check out his podcast. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast and this channel for more amazing videos that make you live a better life, make you live your best life, and totally transform and just be your best self. So We will see you guys in the next one. Give it a big thumbs up and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.